only digital radio talk show. Let's start tonight's episode, this morning's episode with this beautiful song. कोई जो मन लाता था मुझे ऐसा लगता था जैसे मेरी सारी दुनिया में गीतों की रुत है और रंगों की बरका है, खुशबू की आंधी है, महकी हुई सी अब सारी फिजाएं हैं, बहकी हुई सी अब सारी हवाएं हैं, खोई हुई सी अब सारी दिशाएं हैं, बदली हुई सी अभी सारी अदाएं हैं, जागे उमंग है, धड़का रहा है दिल, सांसों में तूफा है, होठों में दगमे हैं, आंखों में सपने हैं, सपनों में बीत हुए सारे वो लम्हे हैं, जब कोई आया था नजरों पे छाया था, दिल में समाया था, कैसे मैं बताऊं तुम्हें, कैसे उसे पाया था, प्यारे से चेहरे पे बिखरी जो जुल्फे हैं, ऐसा लगता था जैसे कोहरे के पीछे एक ओस में धुला हुआ फूल खिला है, जैसे बादल में एक चांद छुपा है और झांक रहा है जैसे रात के पर्दे में। एक सवेरा है रोशन रोशन, आंखों में सपनों का सागर, जिसमें प्रेम सितारों के चादर जैसे झलक रहे हैं, लहरों लहरों बात करे तो जैसे मोती बरसे, जैसे कोई चांद की पायल गूंजे, जैसे कोई शीशे के जाम गिरे और छन से टूटे, जैसे कोई चिप से सितार बजाए, जैसे कोई चांदनी रात में गाए, जैसे कोई हौले से पास बुलाए, कैसे मीठी बात थी वो, कैसे मुलाकात थी वो, जब मैंने जाना था नजरों पे कैसे पिघलते हैं दिल और आरज़ू पाती है कैसे मंजिल, और कैसे उतरता है चांद जमी पर, कैसे कभी लगता है स्वर्ग अगर है तो बस है ये प्यार है। उसने बनाया मुझे और समझाया मुझे, हम जो मिले हैं हमें ऐसे ही मिलना था, गुल जो खिले हम उन्हें ऐसे ही खुलना था, जन्नों के बंधन जन्नों के रिश्ते हैं, जब भी हम जन्मे तो हम यूं ही मिलते हैं, कानों मेरे जैसे शहद से घुलने लगते। ख्वाबों की दुनिया जो कहते हैं कि प्यार कभी की को थी, प्यार भी नहीं थी, ख्वाब जो टूटे मेरे, आंख जो खुली मेरी, आए हर्ष जो आए मुझे, मैंने देखा था मैंने जाना वो, जब कभी आया था नजरों पे छाया था, दिल में समाया था, जहाँ भी चुका है और दिल मेरा अब है तन्हा तन्हा, ना कोई अरमा है ना कोई तमन्ना है और ना कोई सपने हैं, अब जो मेरे दिन हैं अब जो मेरे रातें हैं, उनमें सिर्फ आंसू हैं, उनमें सिर्फ दर्द की रंज की बातें हैं और फरियादें, मेरा अब कोई नहीं मैं हूँ और खोए हुए प्यार की याद है, मेरा अब कोई नहीं मैं हूँ और अब खोए हुए प्यार की यादें हैं, खोए हुए प्यार की यादें हैं। Welcome back after the break. If Edge's return in, that is, professional semi retired wrestler Adam Copeland's return in 2020 was all about making a comeback, which was kept a closely guarded secret, which in the very words of the commentators, shocked the entire WWE fans and universe. 2021 was about taking those emotions and sentiments further, with Edge winning the 2021 Royal Rumble event. And now he has a chance to get back the championship he never lost. So he has three championships to choose from. That is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, the current champion being Drew McIntyre, the NXT Heavyweight Championship, the current champion being Finn Balor, and the WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, the current one being Roman Reigns. Three championships, which one will he choose? This is what is the intrigue surrounding the winner of the Royal Rumble every year. No one knows which champion will he choose, which championship he wants to go for. Now, which champion has a greater respect in the WWE universe? Going by the old school method, it is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Though the Universal Championship over the past 6 years has gained the respect with the likes of Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, and Kevin Owens being the champions, with Roman Reigns regaining his championship, which he had given up when he went on a break in 2018. And now, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the current one is Drew McIntyre. But is Drew McIntyre's magical year coming to an end? 365 days after he not only won the Royal Rumble match but went on to defeat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania to win his first ever WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and having faced the most potent of opponents from Dolph Ziggler to AJ Styles, Goldberg, up to some extent, even Seth Rollins was once in contention. He had his own rivalry with Randy Orton, and now the thing is, if Edge chooses the WWE World Heavyweight Championship as the one he wants to regain, it will be a match between the current generation and the older generation. Though what defines current and old generation? For Edge, 11 years ago when he retired due to injuries, which is a part of being in this profession, for him, the likes of Goldberg, Shawn Michaels, Triple H were his idols. And now, at 47 and a half years of age, he is in that Hall of Famer icon zone. And he will face a wrestler who is 10 years younger to him but has been in the WWE arena for at least quite a while before he quit and then returned. So Drew McIntyre on one side, Edge on one side, or what about Edge versus Roman Reigns? That will be something, because Roman Reigns, apart from his Superman punch and spear, which were his match finishing maneuvers, he has developed this new way to make sure that his fellow opponent doesn't win. That is the guillotine. That is the lock, where the fellow wrestler taps out or fades. And once that happens, the referee counts to 10, and if the opponent is not able to kick out or get up from the 10 count, Roman Reigns wins. Yes, Roman Reigns has come with a different attitude, but he hasn't faced too many opponents apart from Kevin Owens and his own cousin Jey Uso. So, will the WWE management spring a surprise? Though I won't be surprised if they go for Rollins versus Reigns as far as the WWE World Universal Championship is concerned. If Edge goes on to choose Drew McIntyre as his opponent at WrestleMania. Since Roman Reigns' break last year around WrestleMania, when he took a 4-month break, he hasn't faced Seth Rollins. They haven't even met each other in any sort of storyline despite being in the same brand, that is SmackDown. Seth Rollins himself took a short break from this sport for personal reasons which shall not be discussed because they are personal. And now with Seth Rollins returning back to WWE during the Royal Rumble event and being one of the last wrestlers along with Randy Orton when Edge eliminated both Orton and Rollins to win his second Royal Rumble match. Now that will be interesting because once upon a time, Edge and Orton and Christian were a potent force. They were a faction, though they are two separate factions. In the same way, Rollins and Reigns were also a potent faction as far as the definition of the modern day version of the wrestling world goes. But for quite a while, Rollins and Reigns have not faced each other. Reigns has tried in every way in his new attitude, tried to shed the past of the Shield behind him. Rollins has also adopted a new face of being the Messiah, the character of the Messiah. But will the head of the table and the Messiah face each other for a championship match? Or will 10 years from now, when both Rollins and Reigns are in their mid 40s, will the WWE fans and the universe and the commentators and everyone involved in this business have the same kind of emotions as they had for Edge and Christian or Edge and Orton? Will Reigns, Rollins, and their former friend in Dean Ambrose, who is now part of a different company, the All Elite Wrestling Company, will Rollins and Reigns face each other? Because Reigns knows that he has not faced too many opponents. With Paul Heyman by his side, he is applying the same logic which Brock Lesnar did as far as picking and choosing his opponents are concerned. So it will be a very interesting situation if Edge goes on to choose Drew McIntyre, who is currently the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And if they have to choose an opponent for Reigns, that is from the SmackDown brand only, will they go for a gauntlet match, or will they choose one from the Elimination Chamber, or will there be another mini Royal Rumble, often called the over-the-top Battle Royal? It will be a very interesting situation. Or Edge, the winner of the Royal Rumble event, could surprise everyone by choosing the NXT champion Finn Balor, who was also a former Universal Champion but was sent back to NXT to regain his composure. Though I have no idea why was he sent back to NXT. For whatever logic, he is a NXT champion right now. So all three brands are open for Edge to choose from. Looking at the women's Royal Rumble winner, I'm not surprised. They went for a fresh face. Bianca Belair, though she's not exactly fresh because she was also part of the NXT brand. But now, when you're part of Raw and SmackDown, what the learnings from NXT are different from the learnings from Raw and SmackDown. Having watched enough NXT episodes, it's evident that the general manager of NXT has told his wards that you will focus on the match, no interruptions, fighting in a semi dark environment, dim lights, and when they come to Raw and SmackDown, the lights are brighter, the ring and the surrounding area is bigger. It's a different environment altogether. It's going from, in cricketing analogy, from Ranji Trophy to playing an international match. NXT is the development brand, so they focus on the development of the athletes as far as their in-ring skills are concerned and less about the drama surrounding it. And I was not surprised when Damien Priest, a potent force in the NXT brand, made his debut in at Raw. So every 2 years they do pick and choose which individual will be a part of the Raw brand. They do pick up someone from NXT. Who it will be is anybody's guess. But as far as Bianca Belair goes, she also has three options: Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. But going by logic, she will go for the SmackDown brand, that is the current SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks. It all depends. There is still time. So, whichever champion these two winners choose, it means the other remaining championship will be decided through the likes of Elimination Chamber and one more pay-per-view in March, gauntlet matches, which remember Nakamura did win, but that's a different story. But one match I would like to see again is a Reigns Rollins match, to see how Reigns and Rollins in their new attitude and in their new zone cope up with each other. Who will have a more attacking mindset, with Rollins having faced Paul Heyman, who was a former manager of Brock Lesnar, or as he liked to say, a former advocate, whatever the nomenclature may be. So a Reigns Rollins match would be something mouth-watering. Will that happen? I think the WWE management are still not keen on that to happen too soon, but that is a possibility. Before we go further, let's take a short break. Welcome back after the break. Continuing on the discussion of Royal Rumble, the India England tournament starts this Friday at 10 a.m. IST, which means Root and Kohli face each other after 2 years since the tournament ended in 2018. And now the debate is what should be the team like as far as India goes. Well, I can just add something to that, though I will choose my team on Friday, but I can say that if there is one individual, one player I want, that will be Rishabh Pant over Saha. Despite the debate about Pant's keeping abilities and the whole charade about how on low bouncy wickets Saha will be a better keeper, I would still go for Rishabh Pant over Saha because of Pant's skill as a batter. As far as his keeping is concerned, he is better than most keepers who have come, and that include the likes of flukes like Nayan Mungia, Ajay Ratra, and Deep Das Gupta, who have gone on to become pseudo experts because they think they have the gift of the gab. But one person who will be in the team will be Rishabh Pant over Vidyaman Saha any time. But don't be surprised if they choose Saha over Pant and still go with the combination of two fast bowlers and three spinners, with the three spinners being Sundar, Ashwin, and Kuldeep Yadav, which means Saha will be forced to come at number 6 unless they go with Hardik Pandya, which means it will be a difficult choice. They have Hardik Pandya in the team, so if they need aggression and don't want Pant because of his keeping abilities, they may go with Hardik Pandya. Let's just look at the team and then decide and then discuss the team again. So who should be the 11 lucky players? Rohit and Gill open, no questions on that. Pujara will play, Kohli has to play. Now it's a choice between Pant, Rahane and Pandya. Two of them will play, and Saha in terms of keeping. At number 7, they will go with Sundar. At number 8, it will be Ashwin. At number 9, it will be Kuldeep Yadav. 10 and 11 will be filled by Bumrah and Ishan Sharma. But the team management, looking at injuries and other factors, may have other ideas. So as far as the openers go, between the 4 openers, Gill, Rohit, Mayank Agarwal and Rahul, out of 4, 2 will be unlucky to miss out. How will they go about it? Which 2 will play and which 2 will be sitting out? Well, it's only 11 players can play, and unlike football and hockey, there are no substitutes, there are no backups. There is a concussion substitute, but no other substitute is allowed. You can't just substitute someone according to your whims and fancies. So for me, Saha may get the nod despite his substandard keeping abilities. Yes, they think that Saha can keep, but he is 37 years old. He doesn't have too much time left. This whole obsession over Saha has to go. So what if Pant drops a few catches? It's irrelevant. Pant has to play. Unless he plays, where is the confidence? And let me tell you, all this discussion about training is meaningless. England just played 2 full-fledged matches in Sri Lanka, means they are prepared. So even if they went through a 6-day quarantine, I don't see the reason why is there so much debate about the practice. Why practice? You just played 4 matches as far as India is concerned. England played 2 matches, And then, of course, the debate about the two spinners, Jack Leach and Tom Bess. Pseudo experts claim that Leach and Dom Bess are no Monty Panesar and Graham Swan, but Graham Swan and Monty Panesar were flukes. They did well 10 years ago in a tournament which happened 10 years ago, but still I do not respect. Graham Swan doesn't even count in my list of good spinners, so I wouldn't even give him any kind of importance. Swan and Panesar were flukes with what happened 9 years ago. And why is there so much obsession about a tournament right now? If you ask me, I don't know. But as far as the team goes, Rohit, Gill, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, Pant, Sundar, Ashwin, Kuldeep, Ishant, and Bumrah. At best, Rahane may be given a break and they may choose Hardik Pandya. With Vihari injured, this is the best 11. Yes, Pandya will miss out, but Pandya will miss out because they want to go with three fast bowlers. And unlike England, they don't have the luxury of all-rounders. So they have Shardul Thakur, but since they're obsessed with going with three spinners, then unlike England, they can't go with Anderson and Broad, and then the all-rounders in Sam Curran and Ben Stokes, along with the two spinners in, take a guess, Tom Bess and Jack Leach. So six bowlers, full-fledged bowlers, with three all-rounders in Tom Bess, Sam Curran and Ben Stokes. So this is the team. Of course, with Rory Burns coming back, Root will be at number 4. There will be a choice in keeping between Johnny Bedstow and Josh Butler, but that's the best 22 players on the field, out of which only 13 will be active at one point in time. What happens on Friday, we shall discuss. Will there be any surprises? Will Pant not play because of the whole keeping debate charade? That will be found out at 10 a.m. on Friday. Now let's take a small break. Welcome back after the break. Let's end today's episode by reading from the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle, Chapter 1, The Adventures of the Silver Blaze. Good evening, said he, looking through the window. I wanted to have a word with you. The girl has sworn that as he spoke, she noticed the corner of the little paper packet protruding from his closed hand. What business have you here? Asked the lad. It's business that may put something into your pocket, said the other. You have two horses in for the Wessex Cup, Silver Blaze and Bayard. Let me have the straight tip and you won't be a loser. Is it a fact that at the weights Bayard could give the other 100 yards in 5 furlongs and that the stable have put their money on him? So you are one of those damn touts, cried the lad. I'll show you how we serve them in King's Pyland. He sprang up and rushed across the stable to unloose the dog. The girl fled away to the house, but as she ran, she looked back and saw that the stranger was leaning through the window. A minute later, however, when Hunter rushed out with the hound, he was gone, and though he ran all around the buildings, he failed to find any trace of him. One moment, I asked, did the stable boy, when he ran out with the dog, leave the door unlocked behind him? Excellent, Watson, excellent, murmured my companion. The importance of the point struck me so forcibly that I sent a special wire to Dartmoor yesterday to clear the matter up. The boy locked the door before he left it. The window, I may add, was not large enough for a man to get through. Let's take a small break and then continue reading. Hunter waited until his fellow grooms had returned, when he sent a message to the trainer and told him what had occurred. Straker was excited at hearing the account, although he does not seem to have quite realized its true significance. It left him, however, vaguely uneasy, and Mrs. Straker, waking at 1 in the morning, found out that he was dressing. In reply to her inquiries, he said that he could not sleep on account of his anxiety about the horses and that he intended to walk down to the stables to see that all was well. She begged him to remain at home as she could hear the rain pattering against the window. But in spite of her entreaties, he pulled on his large mackintosh and left the house. This ends episode number 321 on the 3rd of February 2021. Stay tuned for the next episode on Friday, February 5th, 2021.
For more awesome content, tune into the next episode of the weekly show with